What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Itz Gametime podcast. This is episode number 30. My name is Jett, and with me, as always, is my co-host Eric. Eric, how you doing today?
We're back on Zoom
Back
after
on Zoom.
3 months of doing in person. This is going to be just because it's Thanksgiving. Wishing everyone listening happy Thanksgiving, safe travels wherever you're spending Thanksgiving at. But I'm excited. I'm still in Tampa, and we're recording this on a Wednesday, and obviously Thanksgiving's on a Thursday, so that means I am leaving early tomorrow morning to go back to my home state of VA.
Yes, yeah, that seat right next to Eric is currently unoccupied. Usually I would be sitting in that seat, but we make things work. We're not gonna take a week off. We're gonna keep, pumping away, delivering this great content that we know you guys appreciate, and we appreciate you listening. And I'm excited for another episode, the Stephen Curry episode, number 30. We've made it, Eric.
I know, number 30, the Stephen Curry. Oh man, the Warriors have been doing pretty good.
Yes,
so far this season, probably arguably the best team in the NBA.
And that's without Klay Thompson.
That's without Klay Thompson. So it's insane. I mean, I don't know. The Knicks are up there after just defeating and destroying the Los Angeles Lakers last night in amazing fashion. Evan Fournier dropping 26, making 6 threes. Oh, I love Afro Emmanuel Quickly now. I love them.
Yeah, the Knicks are doing pretty good, but when you look at the top of the Eastern Conference, I mean the Heat are right up there with the Nets and the looking at the
Bulls.
Yeah, the Nets and the Bulls they're right up there with the Heat are in second right now, coming off a nice win last night against the Pistons, who they're not great, but Jimmy Butler's been great. Bam Adebayo's been great as always. Kyle Lowry started off slow, but he's gonna be just fine. But how about Tyler Hero coming off the bench? 31 last night. He's been a lot better than what we saw last year. Maybe some of that drama is now put aside. He's focusing on his game. I know he has a kid, but he seemed putting basketball first now. Last year was kind of an off year, but I'm excited for the rest of the season.
I know. I mean, the Knicks coming up, I'm including their last 2 games. Listen to this stretch of basketball games for the Knicks. They faced the Bulls on Sunday night. They just faced the Lakers last night. Then they faced the Suns Friday night. Then the Hawks Saturday night. Then the Nets next Tuesday. All right. Then the Bulls again next Thursday. And then the Nuggets next Saturday.
Damn.
That's a tough one. Is a gauntlet.
Jeez.
If you can go 500 in that, I'll be happy.
Yeah, that would be very impressive. That's definitely the NBA kind of screwed the Knicks over on that one with that tough of a schedule, but it's going to test them for sure. I mean, it'll definitely, really show who's ready to take on some of these teams and who could be potentially ready to face some of these teams down the stretch in the playoffs. So it's going to be very interesting.
Exactly. But
really quick, I want to ask you about the LeBron incident.
Oh,
what were your thoughts on what went down there?
Is it Isaiah Stewart?
Isaiah Stewart, yes.
Yeah, he needs to be watching himself around LeBron, all right? LeBron's a big guy, all right? Maybe he's a little bit of a germaphobe. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like to be touched, all right? So that's why Elbow threw that elbow.
Yeah, I mean, I hate on LeBron a lot, but he was definitely not in the wrong here. I know he elbowed Isaiah Stewart in the face as they were boxing each other out, but if you watch the clip, LeBron was trying to apologize, and exactly. Isaiah Stewart was not having any of it. All of a sudden, blood started rushing down his face. I was watching the video, and it just looked like it just magically appeared, and then he just would not let down, not give in. But it was a tough scene to watch for Isaiah Stewart.
It's like some WWE thing. Him running through, trucking everybody, trying to get to LeBron. Then you saw Westbrook put up some hands.
Yeah,
he's about to square up with him, but luckily nothing got past that point. But I was happy for the sake of the Knicks that LeBron did not have to play or couldn't play last night.
Do you think the NBA handed out enough games for each of their suspensions, or do you think they should have gotten more?
Yeah, LeBron should have just gotten one. Maybe one. I mean, I don't have a problem with LeBron just getting one, just in general. Isaiah Stewart definitely two. I think it's just fine. I mean, he was definitely just in a fit of rage, wasn't processing and thinking clearly. So I think they're normal.
Yeah.
I couldn't say more or less punishment should have been given out.
Yeah, I was looking back. I saw a few other incidents that Isaiah Stewart has been a part of. One particular where he kicked Luka Doncic in the groin. I don't know when exactly it was, but I saw a clip of that. It's clear that his head is he's a little, he can't control his emotions, and
Hot-headed.
that's yeah, hothead. That's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, it was you don't see that often in the NBA these days. It's someone, just totally rages and starts trying to run up and down the court, trying to find the opposing team and trying to take them down. But yeah, it was definitely something to watch.
I know. I mean, there's a lot of parity this year, I would have to say, in the NBA. I mean, the Warriors are fantastic and they're doing it without Klay Thompson, but really other than the Warriors, there's not a the Suns are on a heater right now. They've won 13 in a row. Actually, never mind.
The Suns, the Suns are 13 in a row. I mean, the defending champ Bucks, they're just 2 games over 500. They have won 4 straight, but I mean, the Nets are still at the top. They were on a 3-game winning streak, but we're seeing like the Hawks, who a lot of people had high expectations, including both of us. They're just sitting 500. They're sitting outside of the playoff picture if the season ended today.
They have won 5 in a row, though.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah,
so they are heating up.
Like Lakers as well. They're below 500. The Nuggets are 500. They're on a 5-game losing streak. So it's a long season, only 20-ish games in, but some teams have less games. But it's gonna be actually, I'm looking at the Rockets have lost 15.
Yeah.
I saw their head coach is on the hot seat now, so we'll have to see what happens with that.
Yeah, when you have a negative 11.2 point differential, that's worthy of a talk with the GM, I would have to say.
Yes, that is very true. Yeah. But
all right, let's transfer into NFL. And who won this week for the pick'em on the Instagram?
Yeah, so it was another great week. There was a lot of people that were tied with like 6 or 5 incorrect picks, but there was one person that had was above the pack, and that was with 3 incorrect. That was my friend and former ex-baseball teammate Josh Luther. Congratulations to him. He's a Colts fan, and he picked the Colts to upset the Bills along with a couple other upset picks. So a huge shout out to him and congrats to him. He will be getting his Built Bar when I am back in Tampa. So
okay, all right. I know I did finally do the pick'ems.
You did. After 7 or so weeks, you were finally back. And
exactly, because I didn't want any controversy around it, like how you apparently you've caused in the past.
Yeah, do you want to know how you did?
Yes, I do. I actually do.
Let me pull it up right here. So Eric had you did very good actually. You were tied for second with 5 wrong.
Let's go. And I know the tiebreaker. The Bucks scored 30 and I guessed 27.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah.
So I was happy about that. I'm still tied for second place. That's pretty impressive, but let's get on to the other pick'ems, our pick'ems for the spread.
Yeah.
And let's see how my strategy did finally. And let's see if I've found my hot streak and where it's going to start from here on out. Let's see.
Yeah. So if you had not listened to last week's episode, Eric took on a little bit different strategy. Basically every game that he was intending on picking that team, he just went the opposite. And Eric, I think you got to keep doing this because you went 8-7. I believe it's your best finish since week number 4. And with all the upsets we've seen in the NFL this year, I think it's a sound strategy going forward because we both tied with a record of 8-7. I picked normally. While you did not make up any ground, you are still 16 and a half games behind me. It was an impressive show for me, considering you were doing the opposite of what you were thinking. So what are your thoughts on that?
Oh my gosh. Going from only getting 2 picks right to getting 8 picks right above 500. My prediction has come true. In this universe, guys, you ask and you shall receive. And I kept asking to hit 500, and I finally did. Let's go. Now I'm going to be on a heater. I'm telling you, I'm going to be on a heater. I bet next week I'm going to win. I'm going to get another 8 correct.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can keep getting 8 correct. But if I'm right there with you, then in
your wise words,
I know
what goes up must come down, and you've been pretty solid this entire year so far. I'm waiting for you to put up a 4 spot and me put up an 8 spot.
I know. I do have to say that saying is true. What goes up must come down. It is true in fantasy. It's true in this pick'em. But
I don't know about fantasy. Whoa. Let's not say about fantasy.
Well, we'll see about fantasy. I mean, obviously you've won a good amount of games and you did lose, so it didn't stay up forever. So we'll see if you end up on the top. That's the key thing.
That is. But I mean, I'm so happy that strategy worked, because I was watching the games.
Yeah.
And I was like, a lot of upsets are happening. We don't just pick teams, we pick covers.
Right.
So I was just like, so it can get a little bit more complicated, even if the upset team didn't win. If the margin of victory for the winning team wasn't as big as the cover, then I still would have gotten it correct. So it was like, I was just sitting there. I was like, I think I'm gonna do decent this week. I think I have like maybe 6 to 7 correct.
Yeah.
And I was so ecstatic. I was so ecstatic. Sadly, I didn't get my upsets of the week.
No,
with the Giants or the Lions.
The Lions hung in there. They did.
They were close. They're so close. They're still.
I think we both agree they're still the best winless team we've ever. Well, one of the best winless teams I think we've ever seen. I mean, they've gotten close in so many games, but
exactly.
That's what it is. But
do you want to talk about fantasy, or
let's talk about some fantasy? I mean, not that I'm enthused to talk about fantasy, but why not? I'll give everyone a little breakdown of where we currently stand in the league. In first place is my fellow co-host Eric with a record of 8-3. He has clinched the playoffs. He's ready to go, ready to bring on whatever he takes. He still needs to clinch that first round bye, which is still 3 games left in the season. But after him, we got Lindsay all alone in second place with a record of 7-4, followed by 4 teams tied with a record at 6-5. Austin, Connor Malloy, Connor Palesh, and Tommy Fink. They all have an 80+% chance of making the playoffs. And then currently on the outside looking in is Josh with a record of 5-6. Ben and myself with a record of 4-7, and Aaron Malloy sitting alone at the bottom with a 0% chance to make the playoffs on a 3-game losing streak with a record of 3-8.
It was a big win last week for me because I was projected to lose, but man, I love Austin Eckler. I love him. Oh my gosh. This last week I dropped 191 points. My second highest, surprisingly my second highest. And I faced Josh, who Josh has rightfully so has been the most unlucky out of any team in this league. Yeah. He has scored the second most. No, he has. Yeah, he scored the most points
by 1. Yeah,
by 1 point against me, but he still has a negative point differential because by a wide mark, by over 100 points to second place.
Second place is me. Yeah.
Points against. I mean, you very rarely see that happen.
Not his year. Not his year at all.
It's not very bad luck. I mean, I want to see like what teams put up against him. Like last week I put 190. The week before you put up 180 on him. The next losing time he got 163 on him. Before the next losing time was 152. Before that was 156. Before that was 175. Yeah. So That's
Oh,
a lot of bad luck that has gone his way.
yeah, I mean, he's still like, according to ESPN, he has a 41% chance to make the playoffs. He's only one game back. He's definitely gonna need some help to get into the playoffs. I wouldn't rule him out just yet. But if you go ahead,
his game this week is against Tommy, who is
that's
one
right.
seed
That's a big
ahead of
game.
him.
That's a really big game.
So that could decide whether or not he's going to make it to the playoffs or not.
It's going to be tough for Josh because he's missing some key guys: Mahomes, Connor, Hilaire. Connor and Hilaire are his just two real starting running backs. After that, he's probably going to end up having to start Tony Pollard and Naheem Hines as his RBs this weekend. Tommy has a good team, and he has Jonathan Taylor, and going up against him, it's definitely going to be a tough matchup. But I mean, I would prefer Tommy to win. I mean, Tommy to lose, so that way Josh and him are at 6-6, and then for me, it sucks. It really sucks because while I have not had as bad luck as Josh had, I have given up the second most points in this league. Yeah, I mean, I'm 11% chance according to ESPN to make the playoffs. I had a tough loss to Connor last week. Losing CeeDee Lamb to injury was not fun at all. My defense scored 0 points. Michael Carter left the game early as well.
Yes.
Going up against Connor, who just acquired Christian McCaffrey, who put up 24 points, and is just not. And Nick Folk had to score 15. It is just not a fun week at all for me.
Yeah, I mean, are you in sell mode yet?
I'm not. I can't be in sell mode yet because I have to win out. I think that honestly, that's what it's a tough schedule. I mean, I play Ben this week, but it's not going to be a easy win. Then I have to play you and Josh, and you're gonna be bringing it. You want to get that number 1 seed. Josh wants to get into the playoffs, so I'm gonna if I win out, I'm still gonna need help, and
exactly
that's the thing. It's definitely I'm gonna need a miracle, but I believe in miracles. And it's
in the IGTV podcast recap and preview episode this week, I asked people in the comments to wish you good luck and for a miracle to happen.
I need all the love. Let's spread that holiday joy. It's that time of year. I want to feel the love. I need something to keep my hopes up because I made a rough trade early on this year, and it's just haunted me ever since I made that trade.
What rough trade?
I traded Jonathan Taylor away after week 3.
Oh, come on.
I did.
I thought you were talking about you trading Jalen Waddle to me.
No, that I have the number 1 QB now. So how could I be mad?
That is true. That is indeed true. And I know you messaged me earlier today about possible.
Well, here's the thing. The reason I initially sent that with the idea that CeeDee Lamb was not going to be playing tomorrow, but apparently there's a chance that he plays. He did practice in a limited capacity today, and now ESPN's projecting him to have to play. So the only reason I was going to think to trade him to you is because I need to win this week, and to have 2 guys that I could actually use would be beneficial than having someone that I wouldn't use. You would be able to use CeeDee Lamb for the rest of the year. So
yeah, I may go and talk to someone for the AJ Dillon because like a team that needs to win now.
I mean, I know you want the Travis Kelce, but because I can't use him this week either. I'm starting Tyler Higbee, and
true. Yeah,
it's not no use for me this week. So
yeah, if you want,
like Hawkinson, because Hawkinson had his bye already, and
Hawkinson, Dillon, and maybe some sub tier guy.
Yeah, I have to consider that at this point because I have to play the Eric game, the weekly game, and I have to win today. I have to win this week, and then I'll worry about next week when the time comes. Obviously, I don't want to. If I have to make your team better, I'll do it. If it sacrifices my ability to win this week, but
exactly. I mean, I would love to well, no, I keep forgetting this isn't an 8-team playoff. It's
I'm in a vulnerable spot right now, and I might just let Eric step all over me. That's what I might have to. I might have to let him do that. So,
yeah, but I mean, what are you? because in our group chat, in our group chat for the podcast league on
Yeah.
Instagram, Connor P and Tommy were talking to you about talking a little crap to you about how you before the season started, you had them ranked at the bottom tier, and now they have the potential to finish ahead of you. Do you have anything to say?
I mean, let's be real though. Like when their teams started, they had the two worst teams. Like they both made a lot of changes. They've definitely improved themselves. It sucks that they're both above me after all that stuff that I said, but it's just that's what happens. You would have thought I would have learned my lesson, but I continue to not learn my lesson. So
Isn't the trade deadline coming soon?
the trade deadline's next Wednesday at noon. So
at noon.
At
Oh my
noon.
God. Let's see how much movement happens. Because in this league, a good amount of people, Tommy, Connor, both Connors,
yeah.
Austin.
Yeah, I think everyone's made a trade this year except Lindsay, I think.
She's sticking with her team.
With her team. And I respect that because it's not easy to do, but she has a good team. And
she does. I mean, she has a great.
She needs Kamara to be healthy for the playoffs. That's what she needs.
She does. She does. That can be a worrisome team.
Yeah, because if the season ended today, you and Lindsay would have a bye, and the 4-5 matchup would be both Connors playing against each other, and then the 3-6 matchup would be Austin versus Tommy. Is there someone that you would like to avoid before potentially the championship, or is there or you just
honestly probably Tommy. I would not enjoy facing Tommy.
So you want that one seed, so you don't have to worry about being on. I mean, Tommy could definitely move up still, but he's definitely
yeah. I would definitely want that one seed if everything stays the same. If Tommy still remains the 6th seed,
right? I agree. He's from where he started to where he is now. I mean,
it's a worrisome team. It is, and then let me look at Connor Malloy's team. Connor Malloy. I mean, just McCaffrey can be scary, and I mean he just has a very nice depth.
Yeah,
it goes deep. It's not very top heavy. And then Connor P's team,
it's beatable.
It is beatable. Like out of those 3 teams, those middle of the pack teams, I would not want to face them. Austin's team is very good too. It's just that second RB with Gibson or Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lockett, he can be a hit or miss. But yeah, it's mainly probably Connor P's team and not Connor Malloy's team, and then Tommy's team. Tommy's team is the team I would not want to face. I just don't want to have to deal with the worrisome of that.
Yeah, when if I'm in the playoffs or if I'm not in the playoffs, I'm gonna have a full playoff predictions once we get a finalized look at what the playoffs are gonna be. So it's gonna be an exciting end to the year. Still 6 or so weeks until we'll crown a champion. So it's gonna be a fun stretch.
I know it's gonna be. Oh my God!
Will Eric get his first title in his sophomore season? That's the headline.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
I may just quit fantasy after that.
Going out on top. I mean, why not? I mean, you'll be taking out all the veterans. So I mean,
I know. Oh, that would be fantastic. Just winning in one of the. I do the UT league that we talk about a lot. I have no expectations. I have zero. I mean,
unless Derrick Henry returns.
Unless Derrick Henry returns, but knowing my luck, every running back's just going to get injured at one point. I mean, it's just. I have no. If I finish in the top 4 or even get 3rd place, like get on the podium, I'll be ecstatic with how my team is shaping up and the teams above me. You, Connor Malloy's team in that league, and then our friend Nick's team also. But.
I just want to win one league, and that's probably my best chance.
And you have what, 5?
I'm in 5. Yeah, I'm in 5 leagues. I'll be happy if I just win one. It'll be even better if you win one league and I win the other. So we'll just.
It would be fantastic.
Yeah,
I would love it. I would love it. But let's get to our pick'ems now.
Let's do it.
See if the strategy works for a 2nd week in a row. It would be fantastic.
Fantastic for you. I don't really want to see this continue, but
Oh, come on.
we got a nice Thanksgiving slate of games.
I know.
We do.
Yeah, nice.
Well, it's the normal teams that always play: the Bears, Lions, Cowboys. I mean, but let's start us off here. We got the Chicago Bears going to Detroit to face the winless Lions. The Bears are favored by 3 points. Eric, who are you taking?
Well, I got to go with my strategy, and this, I guess, will be for this week. Do I still get like 2? Like, can Lions be an upset pick of mine, but then I have my real upset pick?
That's fine. We can do that. Why not?
That's how we did it last week. Like, I had the Lions, and I had my real upset of like the Giants.
That's fine.
So I'll just go Lions as another one of the upset picks for me. Let's see if they can finally win. It would be huge. It would be fantastic.
Stop. Oh my God. If you're watching on YouTube right now, that was my sister that just popped into the door. So
I'm going with the Lions for the upset. Let's see them finally do it on Thanksgiving Day. That would be absolutely amazing for Dan Campbell.
It's a tough one. I'm gonna take the Bears to win this game and cover.
All right.
Andy Dalton's now a quarterback. I think that's better for this Bears team going forward. Their defense is obviously still pretty good. The Bears need a win. They're on a losing streak right now. I just think they're able to get it done in this one.
My ask, Hawkinson, have another. You had 11.11 points. That's all I'm asking for now, because I would love to see you score a TD this week. Actually,
my ask, I do not own him anymore in any league. Allen Robinson. I think now that Andy Dalton's your quarterback, I think we can ask for some love going your way. I think that's very possible that Allen Robinson has his best game of the year in this one. If he plays, I know he's questionable.
The Thanksgiving game, that would be a good headline in fantasy. Next game is Raiders at Cowboys. Cowboys are favored by 7.5 after losing and just getting mauled by that Chiefs defense. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, Clark went off.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
3.5 sacks, and he considers he had 4 sacks.
I know.
But,
yeah.
I mean, it was that the Cowboys were all out of sorts in that game. I mean, they couldn't get anything going. And then to add on to it, CeeDee Lamb got out of the game early for a concussion protocol. So, I mean, for me, with my strategy, I'm going to say that the Cowboys do not cover.
Okay. We might not see Cooper or Lamb in this game, and we saw how that worked out last week. Defensively, the Cowboys have looked great, but I mean the Raiders have looked even worse, honestly. So this game's in Dallas. I like the Cowboys still. I think they're going to cover this game, cover the spread in this one. I think they win by 10 points and get back on the right track.
I'm thinking it'd be great for me if they won by 7. Because it's 7.5, right?
Yeah,
I would love that.
That would be. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, honestly. But you never know.
All right, next game, Thursday night. Bills going down to the Saints. The Bills have just not looked good. I mean, they just let Jonathan Taylor just take over, scoring 5 TDs in that game, almost 200 total yards. That's almost as good. That's almost as much as the Giants' offense puts up totally. But the Bills are favored on the road by 6 points. I want you to go first, actually. I got to think about this.
I think this is pretty easy. I think the Bills are going to cover in this one. They really need to start showing that they are a Super Bowl contender. The Saints will be without Alvin Kamara. Trevor Siemian is their quarterback. I just think the Bills really need to showcase what they are made of. It's a primetime game on Thanksgiving. I think they get going in the right direction here.
I'm going to say that the Bills do not cover, but they win. I think it's going to be maybe a field goal game. It's going to be like what? It's down in New Orleans, baby. Yeah. The stadium. I mean, it's nice and loud in there. I don't know if the Bills could be ready for that. I mean, they may have been getting booed in their own stadium. They're about to get booed in the New Orleans stadium too. My ask for this week, though, for your sake, in the fantasy league, is Mark Ingram have a good game.
Yes, that would be nice. If he even plays though, because I know he's questionable. But that would be very great. Also, I would like my two Bills receivers, Diggs and Manuel Sanders, to both have very good games. I really need them in the podcast league if I want to have a chance, not only this week but the rest of the way as well.
So you're asking for kind of a shootout, right?
That would be nice. That would be very nice. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but we'll see.
All right, now we're going to move on to the Sunday games, normal Sunday football. Starting off here, Eagles going to MetLife to face the Giants. Eagles are favored by 3.5 on the road. Give me the Giants to win, but not my upset pick just because of my strategy.
Yeah, give me the Eagles to cover in this game. They're slowly inching their way back up into playoff contention. Jalen Hurts has looked a lot better this year, and he's currently the number one quarterback, as we mentioned, in fantasy. Defensively, the Eagles should have their ways with Daniel Jones and a Jason Garrett-less New York Giants offense. But yeah, I like the Eagles in this one. What are your thoughts, by the way, on the firing of Jason Garrett?
I'm ecstatic. Best thing to happen this season. Now we get to see. I know Freddie Kitchens. He's not the best, but he's better. He's better. I mean, he did play call for because he did play call last year when Jason Garrett was out with COVID against the Cleveland Browns, and he did it with Colt McCoy. Just the play calling. I know if you look back, I think the Giants only scored 6 points, but the play calling itself was way more creative than, there's videos, and you've sent me videos, and I've seen videos of the routes that are being ran by the wide receivers where it's bunched up in the middle with 3 receivers. You can't have that. So I'm very happy. We finally get to see if Jason Garrett stunted Daniel Jones's growth again. Like I said, Thanksgiving's here. This is the game where we get to see. This is because now we don't have Jason Garrett. Now you don't have that scapegoat possibly. And we also get to see if this was actually Joe Judge's offense and whether or not he is more responsible than originally seen. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy with having Jason Garrett out of there now, and that I know Freddie Kitchens will open the playbook up more. It's going to be the same style, but it's still going to be more creative, I see.
Yeah, there's a ton of weapons on this Giants offense, and my ask for this game is I want to see Kadarius Toney more involved. I want to see him utilized like we saw early on in the season. When he gets the ball, he can do a lot of things. So I want to see him used more.
My ask, I don't have a dog. I like to see the Giants win and play spoilers for the Eagles playoff hope. It's in MetLife. Give the Giants fans something to be happy about over this Thanksgiving break. And it would be really good to see Daniel Jones perform well once Jason Garrett is gone. So that's my ask. Daniel Jones performed very well, and hopefully we can end up with a win out of that performance. The next game is Steelers at Bengals. Cincy is favored by 4.5. For me, I could see. Did the Cincinnati win last week?
Cincinnati
they did.
Beat the Raiders in Las Vegas.
What was it? 16-3?
No, it was bigger than that. It was the Bengals won 32-13.
Oh, okay. I think it was 16-3.
It was a lot closer. Yeah, it was a lot closer after halftime. Yeah.
Give me. I'm going against what I think is going to happen, and I think the potential is that the Steelers could pull an upset. So give me the Cincinnati to cover.
This is not going to be my upset of the week, but I'm going to say that the Bengals do not cover and the Steelers win this game. The Steelers are coming off a rough loss to the Chargers last week, and arguably you can count it as a loss, even though they tied the Lions 2 weeks back. The Steelers want to, fight back and get into this playoff picture. They have the offense and they have the defense to do that. The Bengals beat the Raiders, but the Raiders have not been great. The Bengals offensive line is starting to let Joe Burrow down. The Raiders are getting a ton of pressure on him. So this is not my upset of the week, but I am going to take the Bengals to not cover in this one.
All right, so we both agree on it. Just I have to use my strategy.
Have to do it. Yep.
Buccaneers at Colts. Bucks are favored by 3 points. The Colts are looking good, but the Bucks looked even better on Monday Night Football against my Giants. It's tough here. I don't really know what to do. It's difficult. I don't really know what, because I see another potential. The Colts could pull another type of upset style like they did last week, in which no one expected them to beat the Bills. They could have the potential to beat the Bucks, and Bucks are favored by 3. I think I'm going with the Bucks to cover, because I think the Colts may have a good chance of winning this game.
Yeah, I think this is my upset of the week right here. I think the Colts are going to take down the Buccaneers. This game is Indianapolis, and like Eric said, the Colts are coming off a huge win over the Bills. And yes, the Buccaneers are coming off a win against the Giants, but it's not as big of a win. And I think if the Colts continue to play like the way they've been playing, I think there's a possibility we can see them represent the AFC in the Super Bowl this year. There's really no clear team at the moment that looks like they can really step away from the pack and be that front runner. Right now, they are 6-5, but you got the Titans, who are in first, who have looked a little bit shaky. Got the Ravens, Patriots, Chiefs. Who knows? It could be the Colts, but in regards to this week, they are my upset of the week, and they will take down the defending champion Buccaneers.
My ask for this week, Jonathan Taylor. Actually, this is probably the game against the two, what I would consider the front running MVPs right now, Jonathan Taylor and Tom Brady. Yeah. So let's see an MVP fight right here. Let's see who could end up on top. And if Jonathan Taylor has a really good game, like 3 to 4 TDs, and Brady has a little bit of a rough game, maybe like a pick and only 2 TDs, there may be some conversations to be had about the fact that Jonathan Taylor may be finally a non-quarterback, be the front runner for the MVP.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely building his case week by week to take home the MVP at the end of the year. My ask for this game is going to be the Colts just to win this game and continue to show that you deserve to be a thought to potentially be in the Super Bowl. I know the Titans are currently leading the division, but I'm asking for a win and try and close that gap and take home the division and, go from there in the playoffs.
Exactly. Next game is Panthers at the Dolphins. Panthers are favored by 2. I think that the Dolphins will end up winning this game, so I will have to go with the Panthers to cover.
I believe the Dolphins will win this game as well. They're currently on a 3-game winning streak, and I'm excited that we are finally getting back to what we were expecting to see when the season initially started. The defense has looked a lot better. Tua, while he has made some mistakes, has looked a lot better. We have Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki performing great. Yeah, Cam Newton has looked great in his return to the Panthers, but this game is in Miami, and I like the Dolphins to win this game.
My ass though, Jalen Waddle. Let's have another 20-point game. Let's get those those targets and catches up, man. That's what I'm at. I love that Bama connection that's going on. I love it.
My main reason, obviously, I want my Dolphins to win just because I want them to win, but I also want them to win to give the Philadelphia Eagles a lower draft pick because, like I've mentioned multiple times on this podcast, we do not have our own pick. So please, Dolphins, not only for my sake, but for the team's future, do not, yes, win this game. I almost butchered that.
The next game is Titans at Patriots. Titans just threw up a dud against arguably the second worst team in the NFL, ahead of the Jets, who they also lost to. Again, they lost against the Texans last week. New England is favored by 6.5. I think New England will lose this game. So I guess my upset of the week pick will be the Titans beating the Patriots.
Yeah, I think the Patriots will win this game, but I do not think they cover the spread. I think this game is close all throughout the game, but in the end, I think the Patriots defense is able to make a big stop. Ryan Tannehill's not looked great as of late. Maybe that's because now he doesn't have Derrick Henry to feed off of that play action game. But the Patriots are the hottest team I believe in the league right now. They just took over the AFC East, so give me
Yes.
the Patriots to win and but not cover.
Who would have thought that? Who would have
Oh yeah,
thought
who
that?
would have thought? Yeah.
Who would have thought? But my ask, I want the Titans to win just because it's fine if the narrative of you play up to your competition or you play down to your competition keeps going, because obviously they have proven they play up to their competition when facing potential playoff teams or prior playoff teams. But there's also the narrative of they play down to their competition. With the two of their three losses going against the Jets and the Texans. So just keep the positive side of that narrative that you play up to your competition. Keep that going, because once you lose that, then the only narrative you have going is that you played down to your competition, and you do not want that. And I don't think they need that in the locker room.
Yeah, for me, we've seen it in years past where the Patriots just decide to use multiple running backs, and it's annoying because I have multiple of them on multiple of my fantasy teams. I have Stevenson, Harris on a lot of my teams, and I just want them to pick one. They're both talented running backs. I don't care that teams like using multiple guys. Just use one. It's annoying. Thank you.
Next game is Falcons at Jaguars. Falcons are favored by 2.5, so give me the Jags to pull an upset. I think the Falcons will win, but gotta use my strategy.
I don't believe the Falcons will win. I feel like I'm taking like an upset on every game. I know I took the Jaguars last week to upset the 49ers. The Falcons are a complete mess right now. They just got destroyed by the Patriots, and while the Jaguars haven't looked great either, this game is in Jacksonville. I just think that Falcons are just more of a mess than the Jaguars. That's how I'm looking at it right now.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, Patterson's back, baby.
Patterson should be back. Yeah, he's back.
That's my ass. Patterson, return to being a top 10 RB, baby. Come back with force. I need you in one league, and I need you.
My ask is now that Jamal Agnew is out for the year, I want Urban Meyer to focus his attention on LaVisca Chenault. He is clearly their most talented wide receiver, and he has not been utilized enough. I don't have any. Actually, I do have one share of him in the UT league, but maybe make my job a lot harder when I'm setting my lineup and start giving him the ball a little bit more.
Next game is the bottom tier battle. It is the Jets going to the Texans. Houston is favored by 2.5. Tyrod Taylor is back, baby. So I have to go with the Jets pulling the upset because I think Houston is going to win this outright with Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, I believe this is the first time we're seeing Houston favored in a game this year, and I think that is correct because I do think they're going to win this game. Yeah, like you said, Tyrod Taylor is back, and he looked great against the Titans last week. The Jets are going to be starting Zach Wilson, and that's not necessarily a good thing. This game will be in Houston. I just think the Tyrod Taylor, with the experience that he brings, will be able to bring this team to a victory. And also, the Texans defense has looked a lot better in the recent weeks. So give the Texans this one.
It really has. Surprisingly, it has. My ask for this week is I need Tevin Coleman to have like 15 points.
Okay.
I need maybe a lot of checkdowns by Zach Wilson.
Unfortunately, I think it's going to be the most boring game of the week. So I'm asking for some excitement.
Do not watch. Do not watch. Why is this? Oh, this is a 1 p.m. game on CBS. They definitely have other games ahead of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a do not watch game. But when I'm sitting on the couch watching Red Zone, I want some excitement in this game. I want there to be a game-winning field goal. I want there to be a Tyrod Taylor game-winning touchdown. Let's bring some excitement to two teams that are already making plans for the offseason already.
Exactly. Next game is the battle of the AFC West. Chargers are going on the road to Mile High Stadium to face off against the Broncos. Chargers are favored by 2.5 on the road. for me, I think this is upset potential. I think the Broncos could actually win this game, so I would have to go with the Chargers to cover.
Yeah, Denver is definitely a tough place to play, and the Chargers put on a show on Sunday Night Football against the Steelers. And while they have had their ups and downs, I think they're going to continue this and continue to push for potential winning their division. So give me the Chargers to cover in this one.
Wow, this is like maybe our second time out of the 15 games that we've agreed.
It's going to be interesting to see how this all shakes out.
The next game is arguably it is the game of the week. The Rams are going up to Green Bay to face off against the Packers, who just brutally lost against the Vikings. The Rams on the road are favored by 1 point. I think the Packers are going to win this game. So give me the Rams to cover.
Yeah, I mean, the Rams before their bye week had lost two straight to the Titans and 49ers. Packers are coming off a very tough loss to the Vikings. I think at this point in the year, I think the Packers are a better team. With all the additions that the Rams have made, the Packers have looked a lot more consistent on both ends of the ball. So I do like the Packers to win the game. So the Rams will not cover in this one.
All right. Vikings at 49ers. San Fran is favored by 3 points. I'm going to go with San Fran to cover because I think the Vikings are going to reel a couple of wins off here. So give me the 49ers to actually cover.
Yeah, I mean, the Vikings are a very good team. And before the season started, I had them slated to make the playoffs. And it's still very possible. I think, like Eric said, if they string a few wins together down the stretch, it's definitely not out of the question at all. For the Dolphins' sake, I want the 49ers to lose anyway. So I'm going to say the 49ers do not cover and the Vikings win, and they continue to make their push. It's not going to be for the division, obviously, even though they did beat the Packers. It's still not out of the question, but I think the Vikings have a very good shot at potentially sneaking into one of those wild card spots.
Yeah. I mean, my ass, Justin Jefferson, staying hot, man. You've been hot for a little bit now. You're going up in the fantasy rankings. There's potential that he could finish top 3 in fantasy behind Cooper Kupp and maybe Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson's been phenomenal once again this year. My ask for this game is simply just 49ers lose. I want this pick to be as high as possible. Like, I don't know why we have to rely on another team, but that's the situation we're in. And there we go. Lose this game.
All right. Sunday night football, AFC North rivalry week. Browns are going over to Baltimore to face the Ravens. Baltimore is favored by 3.5. Baltimore was able to win with their backup duplicate of Lamar Jackson, it seemed like.
Somewhat, yeah.
Very similar type of playing style. So they didn't really have to change their game plan a lot. Lamar is still what's the guy's name?
Tyler Huntley.
Okay. I didn't know how to pronounce the last name, so I didn't want to try. Lamar is still questionable. Whatever illness he has going on, it's non-COVID related, but whatever illness it's really getting him bothered. It's bothering him and keeping him away from being a full participant in practice so far this week. I think Lamar's going to come back. I think Baltimore's going to win this game. So give me the Browns to upset.
Yeah, going into the year, the Browns had a lot of expectations. A lot of people pointed at them to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. I do not think that's going to happen at this point in the season. I think Baker Mayfield's holding them back, and I think he's going to continue to hold them back in this game. Even if Lamar Jackson does not play in this game, I still like the Ravens to cover. They just are they better overall team, and even with all the injuries they've suffered, they're still hanging in there. And while I do not believe they will make a run in the playoffs, they're still going to be a team to look out for in the playoffs.
Absolutely. My ask, Marquise Brown and Lamar Jackson. You guys both missed last week. Let's get that connection back together, please.
My ask is to the Cleveland Browns front office. Start racking in some film from some of these college quarterbacks that are going to be entering the draft, because I do not believe Baker Mayfield's your guy. I know they just signed him to an extension, I believe either this past offseason or the offseason before. Baker Mayfield just cannot hit simple guys that are wide open. We saw him miss OBJ when he was on the team several times, and it's been a common theme throughout the year. There may not be a premier guy coming out of the draft this year, but start thinking about either trading for someone, signing someone in free agency, or the draft, because Baker Mayfield is not the answer.
Going on to Monday Night Football, Seahawks are visiting the Washington football team. Washington is favored by a point. I think Seahawks are actually going to win this game, so give me Washington to cover this game. In Heineke, I trust, baby. Let's roll.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks are going to win this game. I don't think Washington will cover. I don't think Russell Wilson is 100%. It's possible he gets sort of back to that level in this one. I mean, he has a ton of weapons on offense still, even without, Chris Carson's out for the rest of the year. He has my guy Tyler Lockett, who's going to continue to put up 15 plus a game the rest of the way, and save my flex spot and save my season, in all honesty. And I'll give a lot of that credit to Eric if he does save my season. But yeah, Seahawks will win this game.
My ask, let's keep that Heineke show rolling, baby. Let's keep it going. Let's roll 3 in a row off here.
Tyler Lockett, that's my ask. Continue to show us what you are capable of doing. I'm not asking for a crazy 30-point game every week. 15 should do it for me. That's all I need. Hit him on Russell Wilson. Hit him on a couple deep balls. Show him what you're capable of doing, and the rest will be history.
Please don't. I just traded for you for Michael Carter. Michael Carter's out till the playoffs. Please don't. That would be painful.
I know it would be. All right, episode number 30.
I know. 30.
It's flying by. We're third. We started this back in May, and we're already at the end of November, and we're 30 episodes in.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, it's crazy to think about. But thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. Peace out.